I'm Harry.
I'm Richard.
Welcome to Dead Decks.
Again.
Yeah.
Dead Decks. You sure you got a fat roll hanging out somewhere? You can see it?
Titties and all.
What the hell are we doing this time?
I think we're talking about Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
The card game.
It'll be less boring. I have stuff. We have some of this.
Cards.
Yeah. Boxes of cards. Other cards that I'm not going to try to zoom in on.
Yeah.
Google. Shit, I ain't doing it for you.
Yeah, this is an interactive video. You get to do most of the work. We're just going to sit here.
Means we sit here and you do shit.
We sit here and
Interactive
drink.
part. Yeah, we're doing something.
Yeah. We're being productive.
Well, we're supposed to not suck, right? It'll be boring. I
Yeah.
did my hair top thing. I've been doing fucking arts and crafts.
Glue sticks and all, buddies.
Yeah, no shit. Actual glue sticks. Elmer's glue sticks.
Yeah.
This is important. Get the fuck out of the way.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Timeline. So, high quality artwork. You got, I put the big three on here for reference because it does kind of matter. I was surprised. I didn't realize they were all before 2000. Did you remember that?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't.
Pokemon really didn't get popular to about 2000 or so as far as card games.
No, for Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, those were were Japan too. I didn't actually put the U.S. release date, so that's their first ever release date. Obviously, the origin of everything, Magic over here in '93. And then as we do these things, I figure I get my glue stick out and slap it on again. So there's Cyberpunk 2003. That's when this came out. Get the hell out of the shot. Good to see you there.
And I'd like to show the back of this. To show the quality of the product that we're using here.
Well, and I'm going to have to be stupid enough to know that there are no babies in this house, so I don't know why the hell it's here. We don't own babies. Not sure why we own baby wipes.
Don't own babies.
We got clean asses. So 2003 was 10 years after Magic. I want to set that down.
Yeah.
Which means, what the hell does it mean?
Well, I mean, the card game genre was big and moving at that point. There have been tons and tons of games released. Most were in the dustbin by that point, even. And why they came on the scene in 2003, I don't know. Who knows? But they decided to, and it didn't last very long, like everything else.
Yeah, like two sets. Not even 2 years. A few months. At least one set, end of 2003. 2004, we had another. That was it. But yeah, in perspective, time scale, I mean, anything like 94, 95, a lot of that is shit.
Yeah.
Most of it's junk. It was just a rush to try to make some money because Magic did it, so we're going to do it too.
And Cyberpunk, for all intents and purposes, was pretty well made, considering a lot of the games we've come across and other games you'll see us review in the future. Most things about it were done well. The biggest problem that the game had was the convolution of the gameplay itself, and you had to have at least a associate's degree to play it. Ideally, you want to go ahead and get your master's. There's just so much stuff to remember from the top. You literally need to have a notebook with you to keep track of everything that goes on with it. But it was pulled over from the actual RPG of the game. It was very true to that. So it didn't translate great to a card game, but it did translate.
Yeah, it's our whole problem with reviewing this game was it's meh across the board. It's all right. It's not terrible. But it's not that exciting either.
Nothing about it's very exciting.
No.
The artwork it's inconsistent and meh. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's kind of bad. I think it's on the bad side.
I can't even say it's bad. For me, I don't think it's bad. I just think it's just very run of the mill, rudimentary. There's not anything exciting or overly obscene about it. It just is.
Yeah. I mean, it's mostly consistent. Thematically, it's consistent.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about good.
Caricatures is not. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's not terrible. It's not. There's nothing about this game that's terrible outside of all the different concepts that you have to keep track of. There's a lot of that.
Yeah, two big problems for adoption are going to be the artwork isn't me. So looking at them, you're like, oh, that's okay. But there's a lot going on in the damn cards, too. It's not easy to pick it up and look at it. Shit everywhere. They're bland looking. Yeah, and artwork's not that exciting. And the second is when you realize how much is involved in playing the game, you're not going to be real excited about jumping in. Especially if you don't think it looks awesome. Caveat being if you're really into that Cyberpunk shit. If you're a huge Cyberpunk fan, or you like the RPG, that's what it's based on. It's a tabletop RPG. But you've played that. You've done shit, right?
I've done some tabletop stuff. I haven't played this one.
Yeah. I'm imagining you wearing elf ears while some like acquaintance loser of yours in high school tells you you're going down a dark hallway.
Well, that wouldn't play in the Cyberpunk world. It has nothing to do with elf ears. But yeah, it was a tabletop RPG. And as far as I can tell, we can both tell. Anybody else can tell probably. Everything came over into the game, almost verbatim. All characters and factions and everything else. It's all in card game form. So if you like to collect this kind of stuff, there's a lot of collectability in that regard as far as putting something on a shelf.
Yeah, I think the mechanics are screwy for that reason.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the difficulty is they tried to be too much in line with the game.
So they've made it card form, but you still got to have pen and paper to keep up with it.
Yeah. Yep. You have to write shit down. Well, like say there's 10 abilities. There's an ability for every class of character, and they're not written on the card. You got to remember them somehow. Those are straight out of the RPG. Every one of them. So by making sure they went along with it so strictly, put all that crap on there. You got to remember that didn't really have to be there. There's some other weird abilities that straight out of the book, but yeah, you try to take everything out of a 100-page. I don't know how long it is.
I don't either.
100-page RPG book and put it into a card game. That's kind of what you get. A lot of depth. If you're a fan, for the 200 people that play that RPG, they would love this shit.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Cyberpunk, if you hadn't heard of it, is it's a genre traced back to books, blah blah blah.
Mid 80s,
yeah,
mid late 80s.
What's the author's name?
Oh shit, I don't know. Telesorin Games is the one that created.
No, I bet the book guy.
Oh fuck.
Phil K. Dix.
Oh, Phil K. Dick.
Phil Dix. That's the guy that wrote.
Philip on Dix.
Yeah, and the designer of this game is Peter Wax.
Peter Wax.
He's the one who made the CCG. There's no commentary needed.
So Peter's whacking based on dicks.
Yeah, having to use mystic name is a requirement for being involved in this card game.
Absolutely.
What the hell was I saying? Oh,
you're talking about dicks.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
It's a thing. Before the RPG, it's a thing. Traced back to novels and movies, and I think Matrix is even considered cyberpunky. I don't really know what the strict rules are being cyberpunk. Hackers, breaking the law a lot.
Big corporations trying to take over the world. Modern day stuff.
Modern day. Actual real life. Dystopian future. Mega corporations and crime and all that. There you go.
How about that?
Yeah, ahead of its time. So yeah, that part's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those properties that has existed for a long time, and they're even making stuff now. I'm sure most of y'all have heard of Cyberpunk 2077. I haven't played it. I've got friends that have, and I think it's very true to the genre and the RPG. And some people like it, some don't. Maybe a revival somewhat into the card game and tabletop game. I think they even released another version of the tabletop game to go along with it. So the property is still alive and kicking and doing things. Card games, not so much.
Yeah, I don't know what the video game's gonna do. It's the only thing I heard about the video game that was hyped, and then it was buggy.
It was very hyped. It was hyped for several years before it came out. Had
Yeah, took forever, delays.
Mhm.
Then it didn't work that damn well.
a lot of bugs and
Yeah, so it probably didn't do a whole lot of favors for the genre.
no, but it's still in the news somewhere.
Yeah.
Give me the day.
Well, they just recently did a bug release from a patch, so maybe it's better. I don't know. It looks cool.
Cool story.
It looks better. I think. Shit, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I haven't played it. I'm not gonna play it. I don't really care. It's one of those things that that's not. It's none of this is really my flavor. I think it's cool. I think the card game itself has potential, and it probably would have done well if they managed their money, but they didn't, and it died very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think one of the things we agreed on is deck building with this would be pretty cool. If you just wanted to focus on that.
If you like complexity.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got, in the game you have 9 ways to win.
3 for any given deck.
Half of which don't have anything to do with fighting and even the combat of the game. So.
Each deck has 3 different ways to win the game. Each faction, is it faction? What's the other word?
Sponsor is the one that has victory conditions.
Sponsor. So there's 7 different sponsors total.
Yep.
6 normal wins and then one rare win that you get.
One.
And this little guy here.
Hey, look at there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that deck was only made available at Gen Cons. That was publishing themselves when it first came out. And yeah, they never generally released the one sponsor that's in that. It's Arasaka, I believe. I probably didn't say that right.
Win with that sponsor, and then you have style points.
Mm-hmm.
So you can win by being cool, and you can win by doing ops points.
Yeah, which is like killing shit. You get ops for killing stuff. So yeah, you got that. You got being missions. Cool, and then you got the sponsor specific victory conditions, which some of them are just have a certain number of things in play and you win.
Yeah.
And they were going to make more. So there's definitely complexity. If you're into deck building and doing that, yeah, it's there. I suspect that probably this thing would benefit from house rules.
Yeah.
If you tweaked it a little bit, gameplay.
And pen and paper. Don't forget pen and paper. You're going to need that.
Yeah, and a calculator, probably.
Yeah. Because you double and triple stuff and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of your main resource producing card type location has 2 defense values, one of which you have to multiply by 2 for no reason whatsoever. You just have to do that.
Just because.
You gotta multiply by 2.
And then all your guys that try to kill shit have, powers of 1s, 2s, 3s, some 5, 6s, and 7. And your legendaries might have, 10, 12s. But you need a lot of motherfuckers out there to kill shit.
Yeah. Locations have a defense of like 40, and your guys all have an attack of 5. So.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Anyway, so let's talk about the secondary market a little bit. If you are interested in this card game, and if you are, you can find out many more details at deaddex.com. We will have a complete write-up of all the rules and printable versions that you can print out and be able to play this game right from the packs. We'll tell you how to do it from beginning to end, and eventually we'll have a tutorial video on how to do it as well. But anyway, on the secondary market, this game is pretty easy to find overall. So if you are interested, it won't cost you a lot to get invested into it. You can get starter decks, boxes of them run between, for the 2020 version, $20 to $30 a box plus shipping. In some cases, you find a good deal, you can get it for $25, $30 shipped. 2013 is a little more rare. Those will run you $50 to $60 a box. As far as singles go, those are all relatively cheap. The first run deck is the only deck you're going to have problems finding. Those typically run you anywhere from $70 to $100 a piece, and they don't come up very often. They did make a few foil version cards that they were going to use in a tournament style or tournament giveaway winning stuff when they first came out that never made it into production. There were only a handful given out to the crew and the creators of the game.
It's like a family and friends kind of thing.
So they're very, very limited. I've never seen one on the open market. So if you know of any, you want to get rid of them, let me know.
Yeah, some kind of speckled foiling or something.
Yeah.
Little dots that shine in the light, something like that. It looks alright, but it's kind of like, for foiling, it's kind of like the rest of the game. Well, you got little tiny dots of foil. Whatever.
Yeah, it's something, I guess.
I'm
They beat Magic. No, they didn't. Magic started. No. I can't remember when Magic started doing foils. That was 99.
Yeah, I figured it was.
That was Urza's block. Backside of Urza's block.
They were not foil on Urza's?
Yep.
I don't even remember that.
Legacy and the other one. After Saga.
If I ever had any, you probably suckered me out of them before.
Destiny.
I don't do them very long.
Well, they're pretty hard to come by. They weren't very common back then. Back then, foils were very hard to get.
Pack or some shit.
No, not even one per pack. Not even that. Now you can get them by truckload.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
So what else we got here? Let's see.
On the topic of the foiling, that came from it's an interview. I'll name drop. TCG Buzz is another YouTube. They did an interview with Peter Wax. Which, if you're into this game and you're into Cyberpunk, it's cool. It's like 45 minutes long. I like that. There's not enough of those out there for these old dead games.
Yeah.
With the designer saying the history and why he thought it failed and giving some background and shit you didn't know. It's pretty cool.
And if you have an old dead card game and you want to talk about it with us, give us a call through email. Listed below.
We'll try to be more excited about that than we are. This one was really hard to get it going for.
Yeah. Cyberpunk it's the Brady bunch of games. There's a lot to it. And nobody really knows what the hell's going on, and most of it looks pretty good. But then you get the housekeeper roaming around, looking all weird. Alice, was that her name?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Did she look weird?
Yes, I think she looked kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe.
I think she was really planning to kill all them people.
Been a much better show.
Yeah.
It'd probably be a much better game if there was a maid running around killing people on the cards.
I can get behind that.
What the hell else do you want to say?
You want to talk about mechanics or?
Yeah, a little. Well, we hit on a little bit.
We touched on it.
The biggest problem with mechanics is the whole inherent ability thing that aren't printed on cards. It's not the first time we've seen it, but it's probably the most overdone I've ever seen. So not only are there 10 factions that have different ones, some of them have more than one. And they are literally nowhere on the card. There's no keyword, there's no text, there's nothing. They're only in the rule book.
Factions or sponsors. That's another thing. There's factions and sponsors, and it's hard to keep track of what the hell's going on in this game.
Yeah.
As far as that goes.
Sponsor aligns with a faction, I think.
Okay.
I think faction is the word. That's the word we're going to use. I like faction.
Again, on our website, deaddex.com, we'll have all the correct information if we fuck this up.
Yeah, we've actually done the deep dive and went through all the rules and mapped things over, but try to use words that make more sense than some of the custom words used on these games. This one has 2 ways to kill shit. You can trash it or you can burn it. Trash means you can sometimes save it with other abilities, and burn means you can't. They both mean kill it, but kill it more resolutely.
Yeah, so Magic could be what? Destroy and exile kind of a concept?
Yeah, except exile puts it in a different location. This one just kills it deader.
Just
Still
deader.
goes to the discard. You just can't
deader.
save it.
Yeah.
It's deader than the other one.
Deader.
Yeah, that's again story of the game. You gotta have 2 ways to kill something. One's not enough. It'd be too simple.
How about that?
Well, we didn't. I held these, but so these are what are these? These are semi-fixed, right? How many? I forgot how many cards are random.
I don't think they're. It says on the side somewhere, maybe.
Maybe you're the one that had to tell me the first time.
Pretty on this side.
Pretty sure they're quasi-fixed.
Yeah.
Certain amount of contents in the decks are the same, and then there's some randomized cards, but they have a certain sponsor. They got a certain theme and victory condition.
Yeah, I don't know if they can see the top, but each deck has the actual sponsor on top, so you know which one
Maybe
you're
you
going to
can
get.
see that.
In a starter box, you get one of each, outside of the special edition that you can only get at the Gen Con.
Yeah, it's the same 6, but I think there is some randomized in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to own all of the sponsors that are generally available, then yeah, one starter of these.
Of the 2020, again, it's about $30, give or take. Shipping may or may not be included in that. 2013, which was the first edition, those are a little more expensive, about twice the price. Still not bad.
Yeah, what the hell month is this? April?
2021.
This is April 21. Yeah, who the hell knows? And shit, 3 months it might be $100 a box.
Yeah.
Stuff's doing this.
Yeah, the cardboard world is going crazy.
Yeah, they were cheap and reasonable. If you have to pay $100 a box, we'll play My Little Pony or something.
Might as well.
You know there was a My Little Pony CCG.
I didn't know that. This shit's gotten so crazy. A few months ago, before PSA got way overloaded and crazy, I sent off 40-some Cyberpunk cards to get graded. So we'll see what happens with that in another 6 to 8 years when they come back. If I'm feeling frisky, I might even do a video on it and show them on the channel. We'll see.
Yeah, we talk these up so much. I'm sure they're going to be hot.
Mm-hmm.
Made this game so exciting.
Yeah, I'll sell them to you.
What the hell else is there? Yeah, that's really it. Meh.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of meh.
Yeah, so what's your overall opinion of the game?
Meh. That's it.
Yeah, that sums it up really well. We probably could have made this a 3-second video. Instead, we've gone 21 minutes. Which
Just
is,
with meh.
Yeah.
If I were just somebody who stumbled into these or like this shit, I would probably eat it up.
Yeah. Again, the card quality is really good. The artwork is okay. The rules, that's the biggest problem with the game. They tried to be too much of an RPG, tabletop RPG, and it just doesn't translate great to card games because you still need the pen and paper that you would have needed to do the tabletop game to begin with. So it kind of defeated its own purpose.
Yeah. We gotta, given what we're doing, we have enough other shit on hand and around that it's hard to be excited about this.
And we might touch on this genre again. There's Netrunner. There was a Wizards of the Coast game, which was actually created by Richard Garfield. I haven't looked at much of that. That's one of those games. It's in the cyberpunk world, but it's expensive. It's hard to come by. But that'll be a future video. We'll touch on that at least a little bit. And there were Netrunner Android, I think, was created 10 years ago or so. I'm pretty sure that's already deceased as well.
Yeah.
I think they've tried to revive it again. And it may have already been.
I can't remember if that's one that went to a
fixed format, like
game.
more of a board game style. I'm not sure.
I think it is.
I think you're right.
It did better than this one, and it's certainly better liked. But
yeah,
my understanding is much lighter on the integration with Cyberpunk, but much easier to play game.
And a quick fun fact about this Cyberpunk card game is I read this online, so I don't know if it's true or not. But I read when they ran out of money that the card creator or the card printer wanted them to destroy all the cards, and instead of doing that, they just put it all out in the parking lot and put a post up somewhere. I don't know, early 2000s. I don't know where you would have done that at. But they put up,
yes.
Yeah, they put it on the bulletin board system that you could come and just pick all the shit up you wanted. So that's why there's so much of it out there, as it was just given away.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So destroyed. Now imagine if all these had been destroyed, how rare this game would have been.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be talking about it.
You got anything else to add to this, what has turned into a 23-minute video?
No.
It's pretty impressive.
That is more words that we probably needed.
All right. Well, if you want to find out anything else about this or any other games we're going to talk about in the future, so if you're watching this in the future, we probably already have some more stuff out there. If you're watching this right now, there's probably not a lot there. Anyway, you can find more at deaddex.com. We'll see y'all next time.